I was diagnosed 2 years ago, and it was in the middle of finishing my finals.
I was like, I don't have MS. I have a sister with MS. How could I have MS?
I went through a pretty deep depression when I was first diagnosed.
Your mind goes immediately to the worst case scenario.
I started to cry. And I was, why me, why me? My son looked at me and said, because you're strong enough to take it, and you can do something about it. Well, that was my last pity party.
Prior to the introduction of interferon beta-1b or beta-seron, we had no real therapies that were effective for altering the natural history of this condition.
The challenge was to make a diagnosis. We didn't have much in the way of technology. We just had MRIs come in. We weren't quite sure yet how to use them. The second challenge was actually to help the patients understand the disease. We didn't know much about it.
I feel very fortunate that when my husband was diagnosed with MS, our neighbor was a professor at CU Med School, and he had heard about a young man doing research in MS at the VA, and that gentleman's name was Dr. Jack Burks. Jack and my husband met, and they agreed that really a center here locally was needed to serve MS patients and their families. And after lots of hard work and time and effort and energy, the Rocky Mountain MS Center was formed in 1978.
So somebody said, call the Rocky Mountain MS Center. So I did. And their reaction was, how soon can you get over here? We need your help. And that worked just fine for me. So I went over to Swedish and met the ladies in the guild and met the staff at the Rocky Mountain MS Center and said, this is where I belong and this is where I can do some good.
The reasons why we started the Guild was because we needed a fundraising, because every organization needs money to do new programs, hire doctors, things like that. At that time, we had a lot of volunteers, and it made for a good group. They were all enthusiastic. We had a lot of fun events.
One thing that's important to us as an organization is that no matter how the landscape changes around MS, that we continue to remain a leader in providing the resources that our MS community needs from us around care, support, education, and research.
The King Adult Day Enrichment Program, or as we call it, KDEP, is an innovative day program for adults with MS and other acquired neurological diagnoses. Here they come and they get to be part of a community that suits who they are as individuals without judgment on their disabilities.
I think that when you go to these educational seminars, you get a sense of community. You're not alone.
I continually meet on a regular basis people who are recently diagnosed, know of the MS Center, and are thankful, quite frankly, that we exist. And I don't think that was the case 20, 30 years ago.
The MS Summits are now out there where you got the big meeting every 2 times a year.
And with the summits now being available online, so you can watch them either live the day that they're happening or go back and even if you were there, want to re-listen to something or share with somebody who wasn't able to attend.
After doing all my research and after looking into everything that's going on in the MS world, I believe that there's a lot of hope that we can find a cure, or we could find some really good treatments that let people lead their normal lives again.
The important thing that the MS Center has provided in the Colorado community and the impact that we've been able to make is both in the millions of dollars over the last several years that we've been able to provide in cutting-edge research, the education that we're able to provide both along the Front Range, in the mountains and in the plains, but also in the MS Center model and our ability to aggressively and early on treat the disease.
We do not have a cure for this disease yet, but we have so many promising avenues of discovery and so many committed researchers, including people here at the Rocky Mountain MS Center at Anschutz, trying to figure this out so that we will hopefully someday have a world without multiple sclerosis.
We can basically stop relapsing MS. The next big step is trying to figure out how to reverse disability, as well as how to stop progressive MS.
I believe that until we have a cure for MS, we need to treat the disease most aggressively when the disease is most aggressive, which is in the earliest stages of disease. And that is true for children as well as oftentimes for adults.
If we're able to get the rest of the world to adopt the strategies that we use to manage MS, then in this one generation, MS can be moved from a disease with almost certain disability around the world with all the attendant problems to the patients and families and to society, to a disease that we can manage well and to allow patients to pursue their lives in any way that they want.
I would want the next person that goes into the clinic with a new diagnosis to feel the support of community, to feel the support of their care team, and to know that they're never going to be alone.
When I see a new patient, I want them to leave the clinic feeling that they have a top-tier team behind them now to help them deal with this problem and to minimize its impact on their life.
We hope that our patients feel confident in the care that they're receiving, knowing it's the best available, that they feel supported by all of the services that Rocky Mountain MS Center provides, including our educational opportunities, and inspired by the dedication our team has to continuing to find the answers to the remaining questions around MS.
This is not the end. This is the beginning of a slightly different lifestyle, but one that can be just as successful and as happy and as beneficial as any other way you're going to live.
The answers begin here.
The answers begin here.
The answers begin here.
The answers begin here.
The answers begin here at the Rocky Mountain MS Center.